Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a wild way to find out.
It was funny watching back my face of like, you're from fucking Hong Kong. It was like I don't know when fucking you don't say that when you meet people.
Yeah.
I feel like I would lead with that. Hi, I was born in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Well, no, you said you weren't even born there. I think.
I was born.
Oh, you were. That's even wilder.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta lead with that shit. What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I have a special guest in the building, man. Not only the producer, not only the vocalist, not only the guitar player, man. Come on, what doesn't he do? And there's some more stuff. We're going to talk about it today because I know you got more that you're adding on to there, man. But today I got the homie, the family member right here, bro, Zach Vaz in the building, man. How you living?
Right.
How you living?
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on here because, again, this is not the first time, right?
No, this is not the first time you've been on the show, man, and I'm glad that it's not the first time as well, because like I said in the last episode, man, like I really know you. We've made music together. Yes. I've seen you perform, I've seen you play, and it's so amazing to talk to people where I've seen you like in your element, in your art, doing your thing, man. Yeah. But I want to kick it off with like, how are you doing? Like that's the question that I get to ask when people come back.
Like since then, I think just like so much has happened, you know. Yes. I feel like I've really gotten to grow like an appreciation and a love for the city of Chicago.
That's awesome too, man. I didn't even know that. I thought you were referring to the fact that you're in like 2 bands. You're still working on your solo shit. You're booking a venue.
I am, yeah.
Come on, man. Like I thought you were talking about all that, but I guess you're right. A lot has happened on every front, man.
Yeah, but I think it just in general, like I've just gotten like used to like what it's like to be in Chicago for a while, you know.
Especially where the places you've been performing, like I mean, and like shout out to Ugly Nate. We can't even go too much further without saying it because you all are performing everywhere. Yeah. Like you all are always, and I mean, like the North Side has a crazy performance scene right now, and I'm loving it. Like I've been to so many shows up there, and it's just seeing you all on these stages. Like I'm literally every time I'm on Instagram, it's like there's another show, there's another show, there's another show.
Yeah, thank you. Like shout out, seriously, shout out Nate Herrera of Ugly Nate. Like he's amazing at like making opportunities for us. And he's like, he keeps pushing and like, I don't know, there's just something about him, you know, he just has this vision. And when it comes to like bands in the scene, like sometimes you don't see them get their flowers, but he's been so good at making a fan base for himself and being like super creative and having like these outlets. Because, okay, you can be a good live band, sure. But then if you don't have like music videos, if you don't have like the art and like an ethos around it, like it's not going to go anywhere, you know? So I think that's just something he does really good. I'm so glad that he's like he trusts me with his music. That's been the biggest thing for me, like finding like people that are willing to like trust me to be a good performer for them.
That's what's up. Okay, now let's backtrack a bit and talk about what Ugly Nate is, man. Yeah, so this is a band that you're a part of. How many people are in the band?
5 people.
5 people. Awesome. Yeah. So you got a 5-piece band there, man. How did you get involved with them in the first place here?
So around the pandemic, time zones, like era, I was just trying to find people, just so I could collaborate with. So that was
who's trying to work.
Exactly. That's how I found Hit Zion. That's how I found Kari. Just like through Instagram because there were mutuals with Kiko. But then at the same time,
man, those connections are crazy.
It is crazy, dude. And also, Ugly Nate has gone seen them. Like, I think over the summer they had a show at like WC Social Club.
Talk about some people who are always performing.
Always performing, dude. Oh, and they're playing the Fargo.
Yes, they are.
But let's go back to Ugly Nate.
Man, come on, G. This is wild.
Back to Ugly Nate.
You might have me back in DeKalb for a night or something.
Please, dude. Please.
I ain't been back since I graduated, man. You might have me back for a night.
Fuck yeah, dude. Okay. No, that's really exciting to hear. But like, yeah. So with Ugly Nate, they were on the Discord that Time Zones like met on. Okay. So yeah, Nate, he was like, hey. We live in the same town, and we literally were just like on Discord.
Oh wow! So this was like we met online, but we realized we were like actually right next to each other.
Yeah, because I think my sister went to high school with him. And
oh wow! So it's like even more connections in there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so he ended up on like the Discord. I don't know if I talked to him before that. I don't think I did, but yeah, we just realized that we all lived together. I went to their place. Because they had a drum kit, so it was Jab and Nate at this point. And
so you're third member in the group of 5?
Well, we had a group called Model Minority because we were like, we want to be a band. You know? But Nate had his own music out because he's a producer.
He was already hustling on this.
Exactly.
Speaking on the stuff you were already talking about, he was already in motion.
Yeah, dude. That's someone you need to have on here.
Definitely. Oh, no. You can recommend people. Yes, you can.
Dude. Yeah. So, yeah, Nate, he's been like, he's just been incredible with like putting out music and stuff because he was really, his biggest influence is like Drake. So it's like, or initially it was Drake. Because he was really into rap and like, you know, the indie, you know, pop stuff kind of.
Yeah, kind of how you can meld those things together. We were talking about before the cameras were turned on, just how Drake can kind of float into anything and be like, I'll grab the biggest person who's bubbling up in each scene type shit.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's how you get like a Feel No Ways. You know?
Definitely. We talked about that track as well, but I feel the same way about Feel No Ways, and then he's also got another track. I can't think of the name of it. You With Me. Off of Views. That's another one where I'm just like, if you listen to that song, it's such an interesting way that he like crafts it. And then Jumbotron shit popping on the latest album.
Yeah.
The way he raps on there is so interesting because I don't know if I'm a fan of it exactly, but I understand its uniqueness and I have an appreciation. Every time I hear it, I'm like, it makes me feel good. I just don't know what to call it.
For sure. I mean, I think that's how music has to hit you. Like, I think like something that people kind of struggle with is like, especially with their voice or their instrument, is that they don't have like the curation or the taste to be like, this feels right for this context.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you are actually unable to explain why you like something, that's a good thing.
It's like, oh no, we hit the mark. If you don't know why, but you just feel good, then it's good.
It's like a primal thing.
And that's definitely how I feel about just the entire beats on that project.
Okay.
But like, man, so talking about just how this music comes together and you have these people, like, so you all are building that type of trust around each other. Yeah. How did that kind of come about from you all just meeting on the Discord server to you all trusting each other's ears to create music?
They were trying to find a bassist. So...
Oh, so you came in and said, yo, this ain't even an instrument I rock, but shit.
So when I was learning how to play guitar, like I was in a band context already. So we had like a bass player and like he'd trade off with me, but I was always going to be the guitarist in that context. And I always wanted to have like a bass. And around that time,
you was fulfilling a little dream. You was like, I low-key want to play bass.
I want to play bass. Yeah.
I got you.
And then like we had, so a year later, they go to UIC because they're going to college. Because we were seniors when we first met up, and we had Model Minority as the 3Ps where I play bass.
Okay, got it. Cool.
And then they go to UIC, and then I'm going to NIU, so there's a little bit of distance. But they meet Matthew, and they meet Cole. Matthew plays keys, and Cole plays bass.
Oh, y'all got the whole band now.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I can play guitar now.
I was about to say they probably heard you play that guitar and they was like, bro, we don't really want. We can get somebody else for the bass, man.
Because you went to the Extraordinarium. That's where you met.
Yes,
King
man.
Malik Bryce.
That's where I met King Malik there, as well as his brother, who I found out was in a band with my cousin. Like in like the school, the like music school.
They were on WGN, right?
My cousin was on WGN.
Yeah.
Wild. I was like, yo, he related to him. And then but I met everyone at that show and I heard all of the sets because you were up there twice, if I'm not mistaken, weren't you?
No. I was on there once.
You were on there once.
I was not in Ugly Nate at that
You weren't.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. I was friends with them and I played bass for them before. But
this was the transitional time.
So they were they're in UIC around the time, or they're still in UIC. They're young. I mean, they still got to graduate, you know. Stay in school, kids. Like,
if you want to.
If you want to, you know, school funding, that waivers, you know, do college as
if you can finesse it.
Do it. Yeah,
that's like the best way to put school, in my opinion.
Exactly. If you get something out of it,
yeah. But I mean, it seems like you're getting something out of it in the sense, and they are too, because they met each other at this school. You know, you've done so much music just being around NIU and shit like that.
Dude, they have the greatest. I don't want to say like the greatest musicians. I mean, like then you can say like, was it Berkeley? Berkeley's like a big place.
But like now we're just talking natural raw dorm room talent. We ain't talking like in the classroom talent. Like just people who could be in the dorm room making cold shit. Does it seem like that's where all the hot music is right now?
I think. Well, I mean, yeah, I think there is a little bit like bubbling, but like when I'm talking about is mainly like actual like classical players and jazz players, and we also have a crazy like school for like world music. So we have it. Do you know what the erhu is? It's a Chinese instrument. It's kind of like a string instrument. It reminds me of like a violin or a cello.
No,
but it's you've definitely heard it on like a record or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those you've heard it, but you've just never seen it played,
or know what it's called. Like if you've heard like anything off of like The Last Airbender, you've definitely.
Then yeah, if it's in The Last Airbender, I've watched the show so many damn times.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love those shows that like just like they take you to like a place that like it gives you like a better cultural sense.
Yeah, it adds more context around what you're watching
because you're watching. Yeah. What were we talking about?
We were talking about I was about to say,
right?
Yeah, Extraordinarium is where we branched off.
That was like a big moment for I think everyone because again you met Bryce through that way. That was like the first show that I did in Chicago. Like
so this is your first show in Chicago. What did that feel like? Like what did it feel like to have your first show in the city and to kind of like get that crowd reception? Because that place was pretty packed for it to be like was it like a store?
Yeah, so the Extraordinarium, it's still a gift store, but I think they just changed the venue area.
It's like half of it's a venue, the other half is like a actual store.
Yeah, now they've changed the full like venue space to like a mini golf course because the owner's crazy.
Use the most of your space.
Well, not crazy. I don't want to. Flabby,
Use the most of your space.
I love you, Flabby. Don't come for me. But he's a DIY legend. Like he's hosted so many bands.
Oh, so he makes all this shit himself though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's wild. That's so dope though.
No, that's like he's been his dream. Like if you follow his Instagram, he's always like he's putting out his thoughts about like just everything in general. But yeah, it's a gift store. And then like it had its own venue space. And you get your own sound guys to work for it. But like again, like just having a space in Chicago, like at all,
it's hard to do.
It is hard. It's hard to maintain and make that shit profitable. So shout out Book Club as well.
Yep.
That's where you were hosting.
Yes, man. Yeah. I hosted the show that you were on there.
Yes.
That was another show in Chicago, man.
Yeah, man. But like that first show, I mean, I think at this point, like with playing and performing in general, I just don't think I have. And I feel like a very rare like case, but I just whenever I'm on stage, I'm like, this isn't the last show, and then like my nerves are just like they go.
You're like, I gotta come back up here and do this again later. Knock this one out. Like that's just the mentality.
Yeah, for real. Like it's just like I'm here to have a good time for myself because if I have a good time, everyone else is gonna have a good time in the crowd, right? So like. It's not saying like go fuck everyone else or like I'm seeing everyone like naked. It's just like this isn't. If I'm gonna make this a career, like it's just this is gotta be normal.
Yeah, I'm working out right here. I'm getting better at the job at this point. That's a great way to look at it, man. Now I was gonna ask some performance questions here, and I kind of just want to throw them in now.
Yeah.
So like, how many shows do you think you did in last year? Like. Because, I mean, if you just had to take a wild guess, because I feel like I was seeing you on so many stages. Yeah. You performed before festivals. You were performing at stuff. Like, it was crazy. Yeah. Like, you did so many shows. How many do you think it was?
More than 15. Less than 100.
Less than 100? That's a wild range.
Maybe less than 50, maybe.
Okay, but you could have hit 50. Like, there's a possibility.
See, that's like where I'm like, I don't know. Because I have to consider, like, I did a lot of shows with Ugly Nate. I did a decent amount of shows with King Malik. And then I'm also like doing like freelance stuff for just artists that are like, oh, we heard you threw guitar someone else. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a chance you might have hit 50, man. Now that's with that much performance. I mean, you said how you deal with it when you're on stage.
Yeah.
How do you get ready and consistently stay in like, I don't know, I guess like shape or practice for that? Like how do you stay in practice to like go out to this many shows?
I think it's well, a lot of the time it's actually funny because I don't make it out to rehearsals all the time. For example, for Ugly Nate, just because they are based in Chicago. I live in DeKalb.
Yeah, so it's like, look, I'm not gonna make it to every practice.
But it's funny because like whenever we're performing, it's just like good rehearsal, guys. Like that. Like that's how
it's like that was a great rehearsal. I can't wait till we do the big one.
Yeah, no, for real. Like that's how it feels. Like we're just like workshopping all the time. Because I mean, I think it's also just the nature of the music. Like with King Malik, like it's very much like we have exactly how the songs are supposed to sound.
Yeah, I was about to say those you're dealing with like musicians over there. I mean, on every side here. So I mean, especially King Malik, I would expect there to be some sheet music and some.
I mean, there
written
isn't.
down, but like no,
there isn't. But
I'm just saying, but like there's like an established like everyone here knows what notes are, and we can all shout something out in a sense.
Sure, I mean,
like it's like if they play it, we can all play it.
Definitely with Bruce, like he he is so fucking talented when it comes to like bass and just like understanding what a song needs. And I think we'll bounce off of each other. Because for Romeo, like that's one song I really love to play with those guys. And we didn't completely change it, but we definitely made it fit for the live setting way better than, you know, if we were to like just play it straight from the track. Because again, that's like, it's a completely like produced like track by Bryce. So making that fit for the live setting, like we played it at Shuba's. I think that was like my favorite performance that we've done in like recent memory.
Man, and that night was like, crazy too. I was so mad I couldn't make it out. I knew everybody on the bill. I was like, man, I should have been there.
Was that the
Kalia was there.
That yeah. That
who
night,
was the third? Who was the third? Was it T-Star? I don't think it was T-Star that night. Maybe it was. I'm not sure.
I think it might. No,
but it was
T-Star was at like an A&R event that we were doing.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say I know you all have been on that bill before, but like everybody in the city who's performing right now is hustling. Like they're all on the same ones.
No, 100%.
It's like catch them at the next one, same lineup. Like,
no, for real, yeah.
But that's so awesome that like you can kind of step up and just like hop right into these because you know you have those advantages of being able to bounce off of people who you know you can musically trust. Or like getting into like the ugly Nate side of it, you're like, yo, this is the rehearsal. Like we're going crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That's so awesome. Now I kind of want to talk about like my personal experience of seeing you perform. We touched on it a bit at the Book Club Shy Show.
Yes,
this is the coldest winter. Shout out Zion for putting the show on, man. Talk about people who are always out here doing something. Zion, Kari, Frida, they're always in motion. But I'm hosting that show.
Yeah.
I'm there for the rehearsals. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, Zach's on the bill. Where's Zach at? You know, and like I'm expecting to see you. I'm expecting to see you because you know I ain't talked to nobody. You know, I know I had so many friends on this bill. That's really why I was like so excited to host because I was like, damn, I know like everybody here. So it was so cool. And I'm just like, where's Zach? Where's Zach? The show starts and I'm like, yo, where's Zach? And they're like, oh, he's performing.
I'm at another
somewhere else right now. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm hosting. Like, nobody told me I got to take him out of the set. They said, no, he's going to be here tonight. He's going to make it to the show. You came in and took your jacket off. And I swear, 15 minutes later, less than 15 minutes later, you were on stage. And dude, this is why I got to tell you from my perspective and give you your props. You went on stage. I did not introduce you because there was somebody like you just went up there and you were like, yeah, it's all good. I'm just going to go set up and I'll be fine. And you just start like testing out the guitar. You're playing a couple of licks. And then you perfectly go into songs and you got the entire audience staring. I'm talking like you didn't say I'm about to start playing. You didn't say anything. You went in to Feel No Ways in the energy of the room. Everybody literally just starts like turning and seeing like, yo, what is he doing? What is he doing? And then you hit that, I should be, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I've never seen such control of a crowd off of purely just the music, bro. Dude, it was so beautiful to see. It was so beautiful to see that. And you just came from another fucking show. Can we please not downplay that too? You just played a set.
Dude, thank you so much, man. Honestly, I didn't know like that was like what the crowd was like. That's the other problem that I have. Like I have a hard time reading the crowd like, at all. Like I have like what in my head like I want to do for the set, you know, and like however it goes is however it goes. But it means a lot that like, over. Dude, I'm 100%. Like once whatever I do, I put out. You know, like one of the earliest memories I had of like performing in general, like before I even knew how to play guitar, was like you know, like the "Have a Bad Day" song.
Yeah, Bad Day by Daniel Powter. It has way too many plays in my library.
Dude, I
love that song unabashedly.
I was like 7 and I was in elementary school and like I was like, oh, I want to sing this song for our talent show. But I didn't know the words. I knew the melody.
Where are the moments when you need it the most?
I knew that line.
Come on, man.
I knew that line, but I was just mumbling the rest of it. And the crowd was just like, yeah. You know?
You're like, I got crowd control down.
Yeah, no.
They're filling in the lyrics themselves.
Yeah. So I guess that's another thing. Like I know what. This can't possibly be my worst performance because I had my worst performance. I know what that looks like.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't the worst performance, man. Like, I got videos on my phone that will prove to you that this was the crowd reaction. It was so insane because honestly, just to see somebody pull out an instrument. This show, let me tell you, it was rap. It was alternative. There were so many genres that you can't put your finger on what was actually happening at this show to the point where you getting up there was equally as random as every other act. So it's like for you to grab the crowd the same way this act grabbed the crowd. And it's like, this is amazing to see.
Everyone was super talented. I got there right as Protagonist was going on. So, I mean, I'm so happy I got to catch that. You know, because I think he did.
He was going crazy. He did an unreleased track, had the room hype.
Yeah.
So do you know how hard it is to get an unreleased track to hype up a crowd? Like, you ain't never had a chance to play this. You ain't performed
he has that energy.
His energy is there.
There's just some people that have that drive. And like, oh my God, Zion, Kari, Frida, and then Jay Insanity. They had that combined set. We went overtime because of that set. Did we? Okay.
Because of their set at the end. And I was like, worth every minute. I was so hyped.
No,
I was so hyped in there.
No, yeah. No, they're incredible people. Like Book Club, I mean, like they've just been keeping the dream alive for people. They have. Man. Like it used to be, I think it used to be like a comedy club. Like that's why it was like a donut. They used to have like chairs and stuff. But now it's like a beautiful venue. And like
they realize that people in Chicago will perform wherever you tell them they can.
Exactly.
Like,
people will take what
here,
they get.
I'll perform. Like
100%. And like I have so many shows at Book Club, and I just want to thank Cam and like Ezra.
Great spot.
Jess, my God, like they're fantastic people, and they'll just like work with you. And it's just it's great to see like again like that kind of spirit of like DIY like in Chicago. And I think that makes me like really happy that I am here, you know, that I chose to be in Chicago.
Yeah, definitely hopping on the music scene around here is beneficial. Now, you're not only a part of the music scene in Chicago, you are a part of the music scene in DeKalb. And I gotta ask you about this because this is one of the real new developments since the last time we've been talking. What is Fargo Venue? And you book the artists for this place?
Yeah, so so the Fargo it's owned by Ariel. She's fantastic. It's a skate park first and foremost. It's a skate park. You have the storefront.
It's an indoor skate park?
It's an indoor skate park. You have the storefront.
How long has it been there? So like I left and then it was made, right? It wasn't there. It was there when I was there?
It was there.
Oh, wow.
It's maybe been there for like 7 to 10 years.
How did I never know about this? Keep talking. I'm interested. Yeah, but like, there's a freaking skate park.
There's an indoor skate park. Actually, you know what? I visited there. Like the first time I ever went there was around the same semester that I met you. So
I had no clue that existed.
Yeah, dude. It's incredible. It's built out of so it used to be called the Fargo Theater way back in the day.
Yeah, so they like old shit.
So they like stripped everything. They put ramps in there, and there's like a massive speaker system also, and it's like it's just known in Illinois as like an amazing place to have. Yeah, just like skating.
That's awesome. I gotta come check this place out.
Dude, you gotta. And it's really intense. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you go on a Saturday, like you're gonna be like
overwhelmed. Yeah,
you'll be very whelmed, extremely whelmed.
Extremely whelmed.
It's a lot. Like I tried doing it and I fell flat on my face, but I still had a good time. You know.
Yeah, I'll go as a third party viewer. I'm not gonna. I'm not dropping in today, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
But so how does skating relate over to you booking musical talent at this location? Yeah,
so it's the storefront. In the back, it's the skate park. And then they've always just been renting like the space because it goes with everything. It's beautiful. It's like almost like a ballroom, like just like space. And they have like a little like podium. And just for like performers as well, because they book in general that what they had for the space was they just book it out for parties. They book it out for anyone that wanted to like host like an event there.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like they didn't have like a specific focus on what to do for it in general. It's kind of like if someone hits us up, like we'll do something.
Yeah, it's like if something comes together, it'll come together.
Right. So I decided to take the initiative and try and like call them, just be like, hey. Can we perform here? And then they were like, oh yeah, here's our number. And I talked to them and I was like, we kind of came to this thing where like, I was really, because of my experience in the last year, I was like, this could be really good because, you know, we have so much talent here because I'm meeting all these bands.
Yes.
And they're all not like, because Ugly Nate is in one scene, but like there's so many other scenes that are out there. Of course.
And I mean, just being in college, there's so many different scenes because that's where I feel like there's a lot of creation that people don't know is happening on campuses.
100%. Yeah, like we had so now I'm like just helping to organize like DIY events. But literally last week we had like a 420 fest where like these like a bunch of these rappers just from like again like the local area like came out and they hosted their own show in the space. So it's like it's really like about like facilitating that for people, just like having an outlet, because I know DeKalb is kind of like
dry.
People, the dirty D, man. Like it's dry. There's not much to do. So I mean, like that's what everyone says. It's just corn, right?
It's just corn.
But
I was there for 5 of them. It's just corn. And maybe I'm the cynic, and you were the one who took the initiative, though. Like I wish I would have taken an initiative or known this place existed.
I think I've just been there for so long. You know, it's just like I needed something. You know, and I came in, and so we were initially talking again on the phone, and they were like, "Yeah, like you seem like you're pretty well organized about this.
Seems like about, you shit.
Yeah, you know a little bit about like hosting events and stuff. You're like that. Like that's really cool." And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you." Like, and they're like, "Yeah, you should come swing by." And I was like, I should make like an Excel sheet about like all the bands I know and kind of bring it up to them about like organizing.
Not you accidentally started a roster for.
No, like I literally did. Yeah,
it's like I actually just became the person who handles all the booking. Like now I'm just.
Yeah. So I mean, because. Ariel is extremely busy with just the skating part of it.
Of course. So, it sounds like they have a lot going on here.
They do. They have their own like merch line. They have it's insane like what they've been doing. Like, so I mean, I'm just honored to be within their legacy at all.
And it seems like you all are really building something as well. Like the community around it seems like it's already growing, and it's because of how I even found all of this out. Yeah. I found it all out because apparently a car crashed through the window.
Oh my god!
Of Fargo. This is how I found out Fargo existed, and I didn't see it because it was a sad post saying, "Oh, somebody crashed through our window. Woe is me." I saw you all saying, "Come paint the plywood. We're doing a show."
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing ever, man. To make sure in the edit, we're going to put some pictures up of just this, like, there's plywood covering the windows. There's obviously an issue. And instead, you all made art.
Yeah.
Instead, like, you all chose to come together as a community of people who love this place, people who, like, love this venue and performing at it. You all performed. You had people sign this. Like, what was the inception of that idea, and how did you all pull this off?
I think, so... It was like St. Patty's Day. So that's like when the car crashed in there. And I was like on my phone on like my work break, and I was like, oh crap. Someone like, cause I had just gotten like the gig, you know, doing booking there.
Oh, so this is like early in your time here.
This is really early into like me being involved. And I was like, oh shit. And then when I finally got back to actually physically see it, I was like, damn, man, this is ugly. Like, this is like, because I was really set on like, because it's a beautiful glass like panel. So I was like, well, I mean, I guess we could just like graffiti it or some shit.
We could just paint on it or something.
Yeah, I was just like, we can spice it up or something. Because I was like, I really don't want to like, perform behind this.
It's like, it changes the entire performance. I mean, it's especially from what you're trying to produce in the space. Like, you said this is your early time in it, and you're like, now I'm about to invite people to come perform, and we got a busted window in the back. But you all made something that's truly beautiful out of it, in my opinion.
Thank you,
like, it looks so cool, and it's something that it's like it stands for something now. It's not just a tragedy. It's something where it's like, no, I feel like the people who came there to paint that, you can guarantee to see them at the show. They're gonna come back, you know?
Yeah. For that first show, it was really great because that was the thing for me though, because like you come and do the art, and then you come back, and then you see all these artists like performing in front of it, and then you take the photos as well, because people are multifaceted. They can do art, they can do photography, they can do videography. So it's like they can see it, you know, professionally like shot. And like, you know, they can take ownership of that. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, I don't want to say I'm like a communist or anything like that, but like, there's just like,
I get what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, just like sharing in like the fruits of your labor, you know?
Yeah, it's like we all got to benefit from this.
Exactly.
And that's really awesome. Like, I mean, like, just to even come up with the idea for that and make that like a show, like it's so unique, and it's so like, it's so what I want to see in music, if that makes sense. And I don't even know if I have another word to describe it, how dope that is.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's musical. That's just the best word for it, I think. Yeah.
Definitely, man. You all took a blank piece of plywood and we're like, we're gonna make it dope, and we're gonna make good music in front of it.
I think we're gonna end up like, because eventually we have to put glass up.
Of course, yeah.
So I think they're going to turn it into a skate ramp. Because it's the same.
That would be so dope.
Yeah, so people get to like. I mean, I don't know what's gonna last.
Yeah, but like, I mean, hey, it would still be cool to get some, because that's another way to imagine the art. Now you got some people taking dope photographs of people doing cool skate tricks on top of this piece of art that you all did for this other reason. Yeah, man, come on, that's so awesome. It gets to keep living, man, and you're a part of this history. Like you're making it actively, man. Like I'm glad I get to give you your flowers.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. No, I really appreciate it. And the Northern Star, they also did an article on it.
That's literally how I heard about it. Like I was like, and that's weird because I mean, as much as I say I do not like college, I was like literally just checking up on the school, and I was like, yo, that's Zach. And then I went on Instagram and I was like, oh shit, Zach's doing this. This is crazy as hell. So it was just so awesome to see that, man, to see you just doing so many things and getting involved in so much more stuff since literally like a year ago when we sat down and had a conversation. That's crazy.
No, I mean, yeah, that's the magical thing about it. You know, like I think people can be like stuck doing like not like minimal stuff, but like you don't necessarily have like an idea of like what to do until like it happens to you, and then it just starts piling on.
And then you're like, oh shit, now I got to do something. Opposed to like I could have did something when everything was going right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, everything's just like it's working out in a nice way, and sometimes I fear like, oh, when's everything going to go trash? But then I'm also reminded, like, again, this isn't the last. This isn't the last.
It's not the last one, just like you said, man. That's what's up.
As far as I know.
It's like, I hope it's not the last one. Now, man, I asked this question to everybody. I got to get your answer. I want to see if it's a little bit different than the one you gave before.
Okay.
So, and I mean, like, once again, you don't have to stick to your last answer. You don't even have to stick to this for 24 hours, man. But if somebody came up to you right now and was just like, you can create your dream project. Money's not a factor.
Money's not a factor.
Money's not a factor. Just you pick where you want to record it, where you want to do it at. And you literally just, like, it's whatever you want it to be, whoever you need on it. Now, you want to know who you said last time? I can tell you what you said.
I think I remember. It was like, it must have been like Mos Def.
Oh, you said Mos Def. You definitely said it.
No Name, and then I think D'Angelo.
Yeah, that's exactly who you said on the last one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was insane. So you did say those. Are those staples? We got to keep those three? Are we just adding more? Or are we keeping those in?
I'm like really thinking about it because like, okay. Like, because D'Angelo was like...
You also said Questlove.
Questlove's great. Oh my God. I think I'd have to keep D'Angelo because he remains the GOAT. I mean, he hasn't put anything out.
That's wild. Where does this... Now that we're here and you've said it twice, where does this connection to D'Angelo come from? When did you get into D'Angelo's music?
I think it was just like... It was within the first semester of me like moving here.
Okay, so this is like right when you came over to America type shit. Yeah. That's interesting because like when I hear D'Angelo, it reminds me of like the 2000s.
Yeah,
like it reminds me literally of a different time period of my life. So I'm so interested when people find it out at a different time in their life and how they kind of make the correlation because you heard it with different ears.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just like about like the production aspect of it because like I mean also just his musicality is like so beautiful, but Voodoo is just such it's a perfect record. But also it's like the songs are really long. Like they're like 7 minutes.
But who cares?
They're like
if it took you 7 minutes to give me that beautiful song, I'll take it.
Yeah, the harmonies are there. I think, just like the vocals are incredible. The beat's amazing. I think it takes you a little, because it took me a little bit to understand it. I knew a lot of artists and this is also just something I posit to like every artist. Just if you like someone that's like relatively newish, like a Frank, for example, Frank Ocean, like see what he loves and then just keep going down further and further. And further.
Yeah, just keep going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So for me, I think it was like John Mayer and then John Mayer like D'Angelo.
And it was like, why do you like it? Because if I like you, I probably like elements of this.
Exactly, because like Pino. Okay, so I'd say probably Pino Palladino. He plays a fretless bass and he's fantastic, virtuoso.
That's what's up. You need some of that bass on the album.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, like I think I'm an alright bassist. I think I think I'm an alright bassist, but I think there's just something to like giving artists like freedom to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do onto your record. Yeah. But yeah, D'Angelo is just incredible. So yeah, I think everyone on that roster,
they gotta stay.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I'll keep D'Angelo. I'll add Sade.
Ooh, come on, man. What kind of track would you want to do with Sade? What would you? Ooh,
I don't know, because she keeps doing different shit.
That's what I'm saying. She's been crossing over in this later time with Sade. I'm here for it. Yeah. I love Sade. I love some Sade.
Because Lovers Rock is so much more different to like than what she was doing on like Sweetest Taboo or Is It a
Oh
Crime?
yeah, if you go back to like just the Quiet Storm type, like that's just like different. That's a whole different era. And then you see what she got now. She even did, I think, what was it called, like Soldier of Love, which was kind of like a 2010s time. And it's like she crosses a lot. That's why I was like, what kind of track would you want to do? Like, how would y'all even?
Again, just like I want to see what she'd do.
Let the session lead it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then Thundercat.
Thundercat. Yes.
I think that's the third one. Like it has to be. I mean, I would say Tame Impala, but I think I just want to be in a space with Thundercat. I just want to talk with Thundercat. I just want to talk.
He don't even got to work on the project. He can just come sit in the studio while we work it.
Like, I mean, he'll be like, I feel he'll be bouncing off like the walls or something. But like I like still just having him in the space. And then if he like were to be on a track, I mean, dude, he's just so good.
He's so good. I can listen to any Thundercat song. It's like one of those where it's like I can listen to it to completion no matter what. I know I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, oh my God, then Dragon Ball Durag. Like, and then the Dragon Ball Durag remix with Smino and Guapdad. Like, oh man, I tie my Durag tight in the front. Man,
like that's insane.
Dude, like the Ariana Grande did like a cover of Them Changes, and I was just like, I love Ariana Grande's voice. It's a great track. It's a great cover. But every time after I'm done listening to it, I need to hear Thundercats. I need to hear Nobody Move. There's blood on the floor.
Okay, I think I'm gonna add two more then, because
who else you had?
in that video they had JD Beck and Domi, both like incredible drummers, and JD Beck is an incredible drummer. And Domi's like the keyboard player that plays like the organ as well. So she has the foot pedal. Foot
pedal people, man. They're a different breed. You're playing 3 keyboards at the same time. I don't have the mental capacity.
Yeah, like
I don't have the mental capacity to play 1, 2, and 3 with your feet. And Hammond B85 organs are like cars. They have like the way the motors work inside. And I'm just like, you're pretty much a car repairman, a 3 piano player, and you can fucking hear what we're doing and play off of it. Like, this is insane.
Playing the keyboard on manual.
Literally,
that's like what you're doing.
It is like, bro, it's a manual organ.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And I think I just have a general respect for it, because this is how I approach like guitar playing. Like, I want to sound like a keyboard. Like a lot of the time.
You want like that kind of flow of a keyboard, or like what elements do you try to emulate?
Well, the thing is, like, they just have such beautiful chords and such a beautiful way of like thinking about it. I feel like when it comes to guitar players, they get very stuck in like guitar shapes and how guitars sound. But I think you need to like look at, like, for example, like there are people that like solo, for example, like saxophones, they'll solo while thinking about how someone sings, like how like an Aretha, like Franklin.
Yeah, so when you're hearing them growl, it sounds more like an Aretha scat would be, or it'll sound like something else, and they can emulate that opposite voice at the same time.
So you're not just copying other saxophone players.
Yeah.
For me, I don't want to copy another guitar player. I want to.
So like when you get on the guitar, you're like, I want this to sound like fucking piano. Oh, that's so cool. That's such a dope way to approach it.
Yeah. So I have so much respect for them. Again, shout out Matthew from Ugly Nate. Like he's fantastic. He has the triggers going on.
Bro,
like,
crazy. Watching people go like stupid on the keyboard when they like are moving their hands so fast, I'm just like, my brain does not work at those speeds. I just appreciate watching.
Yeah. It's really important. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Who else do we need on the project? I mean, you did say friends last time. I'm assuming that stays too. You want all the people who you currently collaborate with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably, honestly, I think I've like got, like when it comes to friends, like I'm in a really great band, Crawling Vines, right now.
Yeah, man. Oh, you don't think they weren't on the list? We were going to talk about.
We're going to talk about them.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Let's dive into it now, though. So, like Crawling Vines, like that's another band that you work with there. How'd that one start? How'd you get into that one?
So, if you know anything about NIU, we have, or the School of Music at NIU, we have a steel pan program.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. We have Liam Teague. He's the curator, or he's the director of that program. And he has the regular steel band that I'm a part of that's been going on for 50 years.
The steel band is so good. Like, I mean, it might sound a little off-putting to people who've never heard a live steel band. The steel band at NIU is really, really good.
It's beautiful. Like, we have true, like, I say virtuoso because I think they're just so good, and they probably would be like, no, Zach, like we're just like an
but give them their props. They're not here to downplay their talents.
They're fantastic. Like seriously, their soloists are amazing. Matthew Kaiser, Joshua Butto, Jalen Charles, Rashonda Dorset. They're awesome, all amazing. And so they have the regular steel band, and then they have the all university steel band, which anyone can join. And this is why I love this program so much because they open doors for people that just want to.
It's like they didn't even know what a steel drum was, and they can come in here from zero and figure out how.
And they also don't need to know like sheet music or anything because I didn't read. I still barely read. Like I have a tough time with it. But like
reading's about all I could do, so I would rather have the talent. You're fine.
Sure.
You're fine. Trust me, you're okay.
I know notes or whatever. I just suck at like reading and then playing or whatever. So
it's not better on this side.
But Jack was in all university steel band with me. I was playing bass and I think he was playing like double seconds or something. And I think I complimented him on his like jacket or something. And he was like, "Thanks, man!" Like, and he was like, "You got a cool fit too." And then I think right before a concert, he was just like, "Oh yeah, this is my solo project, Crawling Vines." And I was like, "Oh, dope!" And then we just kept communicating. We had Boxcar together, where he was the bassist and I was, the person like singing.
Yeah.
And then we had a falling out with Charlie, our drummer. And then we're kind of like, well, I mean, we were still going to be friends because we had amazing chemistry, just like talking to each other, and like our points of reference with music were so different. But we both agreed on like the musicality because we just work well together.
So it was just like, we have to keep creating. Even if this is not happening, we need to keep doing something.
Yeah. And he was really like putting in the work to make, his music happen for him. So he put out an EP, Coconut. And we were like, okay, well, we gotta play this. So he found a bunch of musicians, some people from the Gonk, Gonk Rock. Gotta shout out Gonk Rock on the pod. Bro.
On the pod, they've made it.
We made it, Nate. We made it. Gonk Rock. Yeah, that's where Ugly Nate's from.
That's what's up.
Jap and Nate, they're both from Algonquin, Illinois.
It's so funny that people call it Gonk. That's the little number. I mean, I'm city. I'm city through and through. Sure, yeah. So everything's a burb to me.
Right.
And the names are all comical in my opinion.
We have a Woodstock like in the burb. A Woodstock, but I mean, I don't think it's as cool as what we associate.
We got Lollapalooza. But what were you saying?
We do have but yeah, from the Gonk we have Kelton and Josh. Josh is someone who's fantastic on guitar, which is why I'm on bass. I'm on bass again, so I'm back at the dream.
So now you get to fulfill that bass player's dream that you've been trying to like fulfill while you've become one of the coldest guitar players I've ever known.
But yeah. Okay, how should I go about this? So yeah, and then also Owen Vaughn, he plays drums. He's fantastic. Jack Holston is the artist, Crawling Vines. But now we're expanding it. So recently we've just been like, and this is why I'm saying like the dream collab is this because we've been writing a lot together, and Jack is he's really humble about his music. Like he's just like, oh, Zach, it's whatever. Like,
it's whatever, and it's like this is fucking beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful songs I've heard.
Shout out to Dream. It's such a beautiful song, and like he's incredible at composing and producing. He's amazing at Ableton. Like,
oh man, if he can use Ableton, I think he's a wizard. Like that's real shit.
He's a wizard, man. He's for real a wizard. And so now it's like I'm putting a lot of my time into writing for Crawling Vines. So you'll see, you might see me on a different instrument, perhaps.
Hey man, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, and like, and especially bringing that energy into this project that you're saying. Like, I feel like now I'm more excited for this one than the last one. I'll tell you that off jump, because I mean, it sounds like you got other stuff you're trying to work out here. Because I mean, working on writing with Crawling Vines, I feel like that's got to be a whole different experience to just add to your like artist toolbox where you're like, now I'm good at writing with other people. Like now I can like successfully get ideas and thoughts out and communicate them in a room like with others. Like that I feel is much more difficult than people might think. Like I feel like writing something for yourself might be very easy in a sense. It might be hard like in the sense of trying to actually get it out, but like easy in the sense of this is me. I'm the only one who's like involved in it. I don't really have to give away to anyone else's opinion or viewpoint. But when you add other people's, you probably get some crazy, beautiful art.
But the thing is, again, with like my point in the reference, like I started playing guitar when I was in a band. So this has always been home for me. Yeah,
it's home for you to just be like, I'm working with others.
Exactly, yeah. So because sometimes you get in a band and it's like, you put your ideas forward and they're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll do that. And then you do it and it's like, okay. Whatever. But then if you bring your ideas and someone's just like, oh, let's do this as well.
But I got this other shit over here we could put with that idea you just said.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just, I think that's just like where home is. and it's great to finally have that because again, like it's funny you brought this up a little earlier. About like the DeKalb like dorm room situation because that's how Jack operated and that's how I operated for so long.
That's how we got to the Miseducation of music.
Exactly.
NIU dorm rooms is something in the water, bro. It's something in the well water.
Something about Grant. Something about Grant.
Something about Grant, man.
See, that's where he stayed too.
That's where everybody who is doing some shit stay.
Just stay at Grant, bro. Like, what are you doing in Neptune?
No. I was about to say, let me not shit talk. I got friends who came out of all of them, but like at the same time,
we have a song called New Hall.
That's hilarious. Yeah. And also, it's hilarious, and I mean small NIU tangent. I don't have a lot of NIU people on. I'm glad we get to have these small tangents. But like, why in the fuck do we have a hall that's just called New Hall? I hate it so much. Even if it's named after someone's last name, it's terrible naming. I don't think it's someone's name though.
Jared New.
I have no clue. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just New Hall. Like, it's the newest dorm room, and they just called it New Hall. Like, it's the most unimaginative thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's not gonna age well.
It's
not.
But the thing is, if they make one more place, it's not new anymore. No. Tangent over. Like,
will they though? Will they really make another one? Do they have the money for it?
They tear one down before they make another one.
Yeah.
They literally tore one down the year before I got there, and that's when New Hall was made.
You're right. Yeah.
Like the street that runs through, I think it's Lucinda. Like that was Douglas. Like that was an entire dorm. Like
now it's just like it's
gone. Now it's just literally like you can just run through, and there's one hall we don't even use. Like there's. Yeah. Literally, like, is this still next to New Hall? Like, there's still like Lincoln.
It's right
nobody uses Lincoln.
Yeah,
like no one can even live there. That's wild.
Yeah,
like, why is it there? Oh man, yeah. NIU tangents all aside, though, like it is something different about coming from the creation of like I want to call it more hunger because that's what I always saw when I was in the dorm rooms working with people.
I'd agree with that.
It's like and it's not something where like everybody's just like, so we got to do this. It's like everyone is so eager. Like it's an eager type of hunger where like everyone's like, yo, I want to do something. I want to do something important. I want to do something cool. And now that I'm noticing other people are doing it too, the collaborations that you get off in there. Yeah. And then you really find out who's really about it once you get out of them. And then you're like, oh, who's really making art? Like who's willing to make the trek to the apartment? Who's willing to, go to Chicago for the shows or even come to Chicago and do this podcast? Like shit like that. Like who's willing to put in that work of like artists do? Because I mean, like when I see you all like moving, you truthfully are these artists. It's like you've grown so much from like that dorm stage. I feel like we all have.
I think, also it's just like hard to figure out what to do when you're at NIU. Like you kind of just make your room your world.
It is. And I lived there. Like
yeah, dude. And it's just like, so I think when it comes to the people just being creative, they just like look out into YouTube, they see what everyone else is doing. And then they just turn it into, again, like your own home base. And I mean, I'm glad I'm getting exposed to the School of Music, but those 2 years that I spent outside of it, just like grinding on myself, were really important because it showed me like just the effort that you need to make it in some way,
I feel like that's the only reason why like things can continue to happen is when you have like a regimented process you did for yourself.
For sure.
Like I feel like it's the only reason why this show can keep going because it's like I remember when doing this was all I thought about in the sense of like I had nothing else to do, so I made sure this consumed all of my thoughts and I grinded it and I made sure I did it every day and shit like that. So it's like that kind of built the base of like how to make something better. And I'm seeing the same thing here, man. Like, dude, you're going crazier and crazier every time. Like I can't wait till we sit down another year from now and we get to say even crazier stuff of what you're doing. Like that's gonna be so dope, man.
Thank you. Maybe I'll play Lala again. Who knows?
I'm here for it, bro. Oh. That would be so dope. I got to make it out to that one. I got this thing where I really want to go to Lala. I've never been to Lala. I live in the city. Never been to Lala. Never been.
Okay.
Because for some reason,
I haven't either.
For some reason, I feel like I'm supposed to go for free. I feel like I'm not supposed to pay. Is that it might sound bad. It might sound bad. But I just feel like
I get it.
I felt it before I started working on music. Before I just felt like I shouldn't have to pay for that. I feel like I should have some passes. Like I don't know. I feel like somebody should be like, "Yo, J-Treb,
or you could like work at like."
I didn't have that feeling either. For some reason, I feel like I'm supposed to be around people that I'm not supposed to be around. If that makes sense. I'm supposed to be in some places I should not be in.
Like you just stumbled into Lala.
It's supposed, like on some Chicago finesse shit. I'm supposed to just end up backstage, or like I end up on stage next to somebody where it's like I didn't even know they knew each other, and it's like we don't. Like, it's like
right.
I don't know why, man. I got that feeling though. And then, but like if you get another set at Lala, I will buy my first Lala ticket. I will 100% buy my ticket to see you perform.
Yeah, we're playing on the Lana Day, which is like the I think it's Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday. I think that's the 6th. So I'll be 23. Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Birthday present to myself.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Look, thank you so much for coming on the show, Zach G. You are always welcome back, man. I love to get to chop it up with people that I consider family in this game, man. Like, this is so dope just to see how far you go. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's been 1 year. You've done so many shows. You're booking at venues, man. You're doing crazy, dope artistic stuff. And that's just aside from your writing, your producing. Like, you're doing so much, man. It's so awesome to give you your flowers. Before we get out of here, you got any new things you need to share with the people, man? What are you working on? What's up next?
Yeah, I mean, hit up the Fargo venue, Instagram page if you ever want to play. Really, that's like something I really want to give to the public. Just like, if you want to play somewhere, come with an idea for a show, and then we'll try and make it happen for you.
Yes. As always, I gotta ask you, what is the outro track for the episode, man? What are we giving them today? Last time you went with Armie Hammer, I think?
Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer. Yeah. I said Armie Hammer because I'm definitely thinking about the actor right now.
Didn't he hate people or something? Like, what was the...
I'm not sure which song it was, but I remember that being the artist, because I remember the album cover having 2 pig heads on it, because I had to make the elements for the episode, and I was like, that's a wild album cover.
Yeah, I probably should have thought of a better one.
You're fine, man. Nah, you get to pick it. You're on the show. You can put them on to something you're on. You can put them on to something somebody else made, man. It's literally, you get to pick the outro.
I'm gonna say "Out of a Dream" by Crawling Vines. That's what
Out of a Dream by Crawling Vines, man. That's the song you're hearing right now as we fade out. Thank you so much, Zach, for coming on the show, man. Make sure you are playing this podcast for your mama, your sister, your baby daddy, your uncle, your cousin. Put it in your pocket and just keep it playing all day. You could put it on your watch. You could literally go to the podcast app, play it there. You can watch it on YouTube. Make sure you're checking out this show and come back next week for another episode. Deuce.
Get him the streams. Get him the streams.
All I want is the streams. It's not that hard. This is good content. It's good content here. That's what I'm saying. It's not nice it's not half baked. It's not. Tell them it's not half baked.
We're at 4 right now.
Come on, man. Okay, don't.
I just doxed
beep that out. Beep that out.